Hey, Benny here, and I'm here with George Vlachos, aka Digital Nachos. Welcome, George.
Thank you.
Welcome
Glad to be here.
Good to have you here.
Yeah.
For the people who don't know George, he's been the legend who's built our volunteer management app. So 12 months ago, or even 16 months ago, we didn't have volunteers, but then all this stuff needed to get done each week, and we were sort of scratching our heads how to organise it. But George, lucky as a friend of mine, and sort of came in with this problem because we looked at some other volunteer management software and they were all super confusing, super expensive. And George just said, I'll just build you one. And I was like, what? And he just whipped one up in about a week, and it's been unbelievable. So I thought it's really important to get you on for a number of reasons. One is thanks, but two, also so that people know who's built this app that all the volleys have been using every week. But before I get into that, we'll talk about the app. You've been traveling the last 12 months around the world, a little bit of digital nomad, and you've written, as you got back, you wrote an essay titled The Architecture of Connection, How Social Collisions Build Thriving Communities. Yep. Why'd you write it, and what's it about? We'll put it in the show notes, link to the show notes if anyone wants to read it. But.
Yeah. It's a very early version of actually, you're probably the only person I've actually shared with this yet, Ben, but I'm also working on putting it in more plain English onto a Substack article, so hopefully that'll be a bit more digestible as well. Also, legend.
Come a bit closer. Come a little bit
closer. Okay.
Fist from the face.
Oh, okay. Hopefully this is better.
Yeah, that's good.
But legend is a big word.
I don't use it sparingly, mate. I do not use it sparingly.
Going back all the way, why have I written this and what's kind of motivated me to write this? I left Canberra around October last year. Stayed up the coast with some friends for a few months, and then kind of went around Australia for a bit. And then for most of the year, I was going around Europe and the US. And the whole mission was, I know Canberra is amazing and Australia is amazing. I love it. We're pretty close to Sydney and Melbourne, whatever, life is great. But I'm a very curious person. So I was like, let's just go around the world, try and see if there's a better place to live, whatever that is. For me, what that means, and after a year of traveling, I've sort of nailed it down to what it means for me. So for me, I want to be somewhere where people are ambitious, but not ambitious to the degree of backstabbing everyone else. I want it to still be a very kind of purposeful social community, helping each other out and helping support the whole community, not to the degree of detrimental to each other. So I had been to the US for a bit.
A little bit of backstabbing there. Was there?
No. I just
good.
No, for me, just traveling around, it's hard to get backstabbed, because I'm maximum 2 weeks at a place, and
it's not long enough. It's not long enough to get stabbed, is it? 2 weeks?
Well, that's right. I was like, maybe not too long, so I can get backstabbed. So I guess to not drag out the background too long. I sort of realized that, yes, certain places attract certain kinds of people, but at the end of the day, that's what the ideal place is all about, the people. So for me, I can try and maybe pick a better place and deal with the trade-offs that it has, or I can be a little bit crazy and try and bring all the best things from all the different places that I experienced in the world back to the place I know, which is Canberra. So looking back in my life, certain kind of decision frameworks and what's led me to where I am, I've always had the mindset of wanting to be the change that I want to see in the world. So I was like, at least I can try for 12 months and see what happens. And so this is kind of I stumbled across some very interesting books while I was also thinking about those kind of things. And it sort of just helped me put everything together and connect everything as to what I think Canberra is missing and what can be done to make it better. Obviously, this is very personal based on my experience, but...
And what makes you think it's the people? You just said that you want to bring people together, but why is that? What... you're an open source developer, and your former co-founder told me that you're a big, that open source community really helped teach you learn how to code, and that you always felt very grateful back to that community. So what is that been a big part, that experience been a big part of why you sort of want to bring people together for the better of Canberra? And then I guess and then you really talk about these social collisions. I guess, sorry, answer that first question, then we'll get into this social collisions, because it's something I found really interesting, which is super applicable to R4R.
Yeah. So, I mean, you start to, if you look at life, you're going to use the onion analogy for me, is like you peel back the layers of the onion. It's like, yes, work is important. Yes, whatever is important, like what some people like cooking, art, music, all those things are important. But at the end of the day, what is behind all those things? It's people.
Relationships.
Yeah. So if you break it down to the very foundational layer, it's always people. Like there's people behind everything. So for me, it's like pretty like simple now in my head. I've probably gone through too many existential crises to get to this point. But yeah, that's all. Like having a good community, looking out for each other. That's kind of like humans have evolved. Like I hate to use the historian perspective, but if you want to go,
we haven't evolved past the need of our genetics not needing community and other people.
Yeah, that's what I personally think. Yeah, that's right.
No, I agree. But then why did you write this? Was it just you've just traveling and you had lots of thoughts and you just wanted to do a bit of a brain dump at the end and try and link it all together? And then let's expand on this social collisions bit. So yeah, like why, what is the purpose of writing it? Like obviously you want to bring people together to help make Canberra better and to maximise its potential, all that's in a positive way. But then what about how do the collisions play into that?
Yeah, so I've tried to think about it a few different angles to try and explain this. But essentially, one, it was firsthand evidence. So while I was traveling, I actually did a bunch of dinners with strangers. So there's a few apps out there at the moment where you just sign up and there's like usually 6 or 7 strangers, have dinner with them.
Dinner with strangers, never met them. You don't get to see a profile of them before.
No, nothing. You don't know anything about. The only thing I think they tell you is like the nationality, which the user picks, and there's a very brief. You don't know about each person. It just tells you what kind of industry everyone's in, like work-wise. So I was like, I'm a curious person. Again, I might as well try and meet some other people.
What city was this in?
I did it in all sorts of different cities. Yeah, so this is so Time Left is one app. Did that across Europe and the US, and then the US has another really cool app called 222. And
that's New York based. That one, is that the one you showed me?
Yeah. So it's New York, Chicago, LA, like pretty much the major US cities. But doing that made me realize, like, the wildest things in a very good way happen when you least expect it. So yes, you can try and optimize like, oh, I want to meet this person, or like I want to do this. But having some sort of capacity of leaving yourself open to chance encounters and serendipity is like, you never know what's going to come out of that. And a lot of the times, if not all the times, it's actually very positive and very meaningful. So that's kind of my thinking behind social collisions is I would love to increase the amount of random social collisions that happen in public.
So there's the chance encounters that it's not like a networking thing where it's, you're meeting this person because you think there's a way they can benefit you or vice versa. It's just this chance encounter that's just not architected or like designed or artificial. Is that kind
That's
of
right.
That's what a collision is.
So I hate networking events. Absolutely despise them. But if I'm at a cafe, I will always talk to someone at that cafe. Or if I'm waiting in a line, I will always try and make conversation. I'm not gonna like jump in and be like, "Hey, you talking to your friend?" Yeah, talk to me. No, I'm not gonna do that. But you can get a general vibe of is this person open to being talked to? Are they not? And so a lot of the times, this is the thing, I'm just going to go back to travel a little bit, but this is the thing I realized when I came back to Australia. There were a couple of things that I was really missing from my travel. but not in a way that made me want to travel again, in a way that made me want to bring them to my day-to-day life. And one of them was just, we can just say whatever we want. And
When you're traveling.
yeah, when you're traveling, but like in general, it turns out not just when we're traveling. Like we've got thoughts, we can say them and people react and we can have a conversation. Like that's it.
But we don't, I don't share everything, all my thoughts, especially in my community, because I might offend people or I guess what you're saying when you're traveling, there's a lot more freedom that what you say might not come back to bite you in the ass long term.
But how many times has it come back to bite you? Like it hasn't.
Well, I don't know because I keep my mouth shut all the time.
Maybe that's, maybe
I don't share all my opinions.
Yeah, you can tell who's the wiser one in here, but
Well, I'm good at apologising when I do share something that I shouldn't.
yeah. But for me, I guess like sometimes
I miss the freedom to just wish I could just always just say what's on my mind. Like, and that's a sign of a good friend. Is I have a few friends.
Yeah.
Brainy, just about top of the list, who is just I can tell him whatever I'm thinking, and I know I won't feel judged, even if what I say is complete garbage and not well thought out. Like, it might offend him or upset him, but he just knows it's just me just working things through. And if I do overstep the line, I apologise. But so Brainy, he knows what I'm talking about. We've had a few convos where I've not let rip, but just word vomited.
But like,
and that's a big part of our friendship and the trust that I have around him, that I trust him that I can just be myself and word vomit around and that he's not going to judge me for it.
But like, can I role play for a little bit?
Yeah, okay.
So if a stranger came up to you and they started telling you their thoughts, would you tell them that's garbage? Don't talk to me?
No, I'd listen.
Exactly.
If I wasn't in a rush.
Yeah.
I didn't need to be there going, that's okay. Have you thought about this? Or
Well, usually, for me, like I said, I do it when I'm sitting down at a cafe. So if I see someone just holding a cup of coffee, I'm going to assume they're not in a rush. So it's like a lot of it is just...
So the environment creates this context where you think they're open for a conversation. And
Yeah. I mean, if I see someone rushing to get a taxi, I'm not going to go and say, oh, hey,
can we have a chat?
yeah, where are you going real quick? Can I interview you? Or like, I'm not going to do that. But if someone's just sitting down, they're comfortable, they're not in a rush. And like, yes, I'm not going to go just blur whatever's I'm thinking. But I'm just trying to show, I guess, in a way that if someone talks to you, like, is very pure with their thoughts and tell you what they think, you're not going to, maybe you'll judge them, sure. Maybe you're like, maybe I don't want to talk to this.
Who was that, Looney?
Yeah. I don't want to talk to this person again. But chances are you're going to listen to them. You're not going to tell them straight to their face. So it's like just being open-minded and being like conscious that everyone goes through, regardless of whether they're your close friend or someone strange, like a complete stranger. We're all humans and doesn't make much of a difference to me.
So back to you're saying the cafe and it's like the context. If someone's rushing to get their taxi, you can't really talk to them. But if they're in the cafe, it's the environment that creates the permission for a conversation, which is something we try and do on a Wednesday night or whenever after you do a run, there's permission in the environment to have a chat. I mean, for people who haven't read, or what I assume no one else has read this, how are some other ways based on what you've seen around the world around creating more of those environments for these social collisions? Because you also state that there's two types of importance that you call it's social capital, but really it's friendship.
Yeah.
There's like obviously the long-term like family friendships, and then there's these more bridging capital, which are like just the day-to-day, what's the word? Like
there's like weak ties.
What's the word? Weak ties, yeah. And
Yeah.
If those weak ties can eventually then, with enough collisions, can grow into real friendships. But how do you reckon we can design, especially Canberra and R4R, to create more of these environments which increase these collisions?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one thing that R4R is absolutely nailing, because we do not have enough third spaces definitely in Canberra, but in Australia in general. The one thing I absolutely loved about the US and Southeast Asia is that I could just go like anywhere at any cafe, pull out my laptop. I would find other people working. There's something for everyone, whether you're into fitness, whether you're into like co-working and meeting those kind of people, whether you just want to go out for a drink. There's so many third spaces, and they're open at various times throughout the day.
Explain the third space, just for anyone that hasn't heard the term.
Well, the simplest way you can explain it is there's kind of two main spaces in our lives. One's our workplace. The second is our home. And a third space is kind of just any space that is not those two. So it could be just out in the park. It could be a cafe, literally.
Place
anything.
to make friends or hobbies or...
Yeah, it doesn't, this is my naive interpretation. Like, it doesn't actually have to be that productive. It doesn't have to have a focus to it. It doesn't have to be, I'm going to go there to make friends or I'm going to go there to do something. It's just, maybe I'm sick of work and home and I just want to go somewhere else to decompress out of those two things. And again, this is me jumping ahead, but if you're open-minded and you just go somewhere else, like maybe you'll meet someone, maybe there'll be some chance encounter.
Well, you get into like the social anxiety. I don't know what page it's on that I think holds a lot of people back. When we've heard from R4R, like feedback we've had, especially with the big crowds. I don't know where it is, but you describe it pretty like spot on around. There's social anxiety. Yeah, affects a huge amount of adults, which manifests worrying about upcoming social events, fear of judgment, and creates avoidance behaviours. And that events with clear structure, defined duration, and shared focus reduces anxiety and these barriers and increases attendance. So, which is something I think we're doing pretty well at R4R. So my brain's just, what were we talking about?
No, yeah. So
we want to create more of these third spaces. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
Why do we need more of them? Apart from, I guess, they're just good stress relievers from the work and home.
Yeah.
But why is Canberra falling behind in the third space department compared to the US and Southeast Asia?
Yeah. So, for example, on my second day back in Canberra from coming back to Australia, I just had a random chat, as I do, in the cafe, like here, my favorite cafe in Canberra, with this lady long-term in the APS, lovely lady, and we both kind of bonded over how there's nothing open after 5 p.m. She's like, just like a quick drink after work somewhere close by in the city, or some people not even a drink, just like a coffee. You're not going to, especially coffee, you're not going to find anything.
But yeah, everyone just knows not a good way to get sleep if you have an Arvo coffees.
Sure, you can get decaf.
Yeah.
Some people have coffee and, they have 5 coffees a day and they're fine. But choice is good, right? Like, and that's coming back to why having more third spaces is important. I'm not saying let's go open up 24/7 cafes everywhere. I think having multiple choices. So some people would like a cafe. Some people like to get active.
Or the pub.
Pub. Yeah, pub is a great example. I remember you were telling me about, I didn't know about this.
Well, yeah, so pubs were originally called public houses. You write an amazing thing in here about the Penny University.
Yeah.
You originally... like the term, because I know there's the cafe in Kingston. I don't know what page it was on. Oh, here we go. Yeah, and the King Charles, whatever, tried to ban him because in 1675, there was the Penny University. It was like a cafe where you'd pay a penny to get in, 2 pence for your coffee, and then you could have wide-ranging discourse.
Yeah.
Which was like a place for free speech and conversation. And, King Charles tried to suppress it and ban it until, there was a huge public uproar. And
yeah.
There was a space to come and chat and connect, kind of like what this space is.
Exactly. But
we're a conversation we had this morning.
Exactly. And that's the other thing. Like co-working is another third space. Like it's not necessarily an office where you're bounded in a way. I mean, it depends on the environment. I'm getting a bit out of.
Well, this is how we met. Oh no, we met through Startup Striders, which was like another chance.
That's right.
Which is just a group that goes to park runs on Saturday. They're interested in startups.
Yeah.
It's just a WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
And that's how we said we were running a couple of times through. That's probably what I wanted to talk about all this is I think running for resilience and parkrun are places for these chance collisions. And then when you have a few of these, you collide. Then we collided at Work Club,
yes,
a co-working space, and that's how our friendship grew. And then when I came to you with a problem about how we were trying to manage running for resilience volleys, and then you offered amazing bit of help.
Like
it's just such a good example.
Exactly. How did we get here? It's just chance. Like We were just both open-minded, kind of going to different third spaces, kept meeting up. And that's like the more diversity you have in the third spaces, the easier it is to actually filter people, I think, because then you're like, oh, this one person keeps coming to all the other things that I'm going. So you're like, oh, maybe we're
Probably got something similar with that guy.
Yeah. So
because so this is something you wrote about, the collisions and then incidental bump-ins and how that sort of really sparks those incidental bump-ins is what sparks sort of why people who end up becoming friends. And you argue that it is very important for health to have lots of like weak ties. It's something that my wife would strongly disagree with. And I've had a lot of debates with her because I've moved heaps. I know a lot of people. Like I got like a lot of Facebook friends, of people that I've actually like everywhere we go, we joke that I sort of know someone just because moved around and met people through sport and the pub. But she believes you only actually need like a couple of really good friends and she's unbelievably super close with her family, and she actually doesn't believe in weak ties at all. Can you, for just anyone that's listening, if my wife is listening, can you go into bat for the weak ties, like those weak connections? And I certainly think you've got to have a few very really strong relationships, like especially with family, and there are like some really core friendships. But what were those other benefits of those weak ties and having a lot of connections?
I guess I would love, can I flip back the question?
Yeah.
And it's okay if no, but I would actually love to understand more about the rationale for thinking that strong ties, like strong bonds are the only thing that's needed, if that makes sense.
Well, and my argument to her is what happens if something happens to if you only got a few really strong ties and something happens to those ties?
Yeah. That's another thing. Yeah.
And whereas if you've got a lot of friendships, I guess they're not as strong. Some may grow kind of like a garden. Some will grow big, some might not, and you don't really know. I guess that's why. But I do agree, especially, and that's something social media plays a lot on. People get caught up in how many their follower count, and I've got millions of people. Like Avicii, one of my favorite artists, millions of followers, brilliant DJ, unbelievably lonely, and took his own life. So I guess that's an example of probably too many weak ties, having millions of fans, but then no really strong relationships.
Yeah. So I guess my view on that is like everything in life, everything is good in moderation. So you definitely like having your family and keeping those strong bonds is really important. Like you look out after one another, you're always there for one another. But as flawed humans that we are, and the kind of experience that we accumulate across our lifespan is very limited based on our like brain and eyes that we have, right? So, and the environment that we're in. So one is by actually just opening yourself out there to the world, you learn more about what is like.
The more people you meet, the more information you get.
Yeah, exactly. And there's like a lot
good and bad.
Good and bad, and you have to be very careful, of course, like anything. And another thing is, like I try, whenever I think about something, whether it's like a social, I love maths or like computer science from a computer science background, I try and like find the parallels across all those concepts. So then like you in investing, you look at the concept of like, don't put all your eggs in one basket, or you got to diversify your portfolio. And I can go into the reasons of why they say you got to diversify your portfolio, but there's if you look at it from a very woo-woo high level,
diversify your friendships, or is it?
Just diversify your interactions. Like I think having solid friendships is good, and you can't always go and keep making new friends. I think for me, weak ties is not necessarily go out there and make as many friends as you can. It's just go out there, meet someone new, be genuinely interested about, even if it's just like an hour or 30 minutes or 15 minutes, like you guys talk. You'll get an idea of who they are, and who knows what might happen out of that, or who knows what might happen down the track.
But what are the barriers to do? I mean, obviously, there's the fear of going to dinner with 6 strangers or 7 strangers.
Yeah.
Is that something you're going to keep doing now you're back in Canberra, or is it just something that you do when you're traveling and you've actually got time?
So I actually did.
I've
done my first dinner with strangers in Canberra. Was it 2 weeks ago, I think?
Yeah.
Because I was really excited. I was like, I'm curious to see how this is going to go in Canberra. I don't want to, obviously, I'm saying all these exciting things I said about Canberra. I don't want to bag Canberra. But I went in with pretty low expectations. And that's just because I know the nature of...
you know what most Canberrans do.
Exactly. I was like, the typical Canberran would not attend something like this. So I was curious to see what kind of people would go. So funnily enough, half the people didn't show up. So out of 6, 3 didn't show up. The other person was from Melbourne, and then the other person had moved from Sydney to Canberra in the last 3 years, I think. And I'm going to be honest, it wasn't like the best experience, but I still want to actually do it again and see what next time is going to be like. And I still learned something about those people.
Well, and what are the other challenges of Canberra? Like you just said, we're bringing people together. You just said, obviously, that experience wasn't maybe it's just because you're from Canberra and the New York. I mean, it's hard to argue Canberra would ever be more exciting going to dinner in Canberra than going to dinner in New York. But you've said some really interesting stuff that we spoke about earlier today. Like, what are some of the other, from everything that you've seen around third places, what are the challenges to Canberra that like are unique to Canberra and bringing people together? Like, what are some of the other challenges? I've read, I mean, just so people who haven't read what you wrote, what are some other challenges that R4R or anyone working to try and bring people together? What are some of the challenges, that people in Canberra face?
This is going to be really controversial.
No, go for it.
I think Canberra is it's too comfortable. It's so easy. But
shouldn't it be easy then to bring people together?
You would think so. I'm very fond of this saying. I'm going to butcher it, but it goes something like, and I don't want to be I'm going to be trying to be politically correct, but tough times create. So good times create weak men or women. You can substitute for either. So good times create weak men create tough times create strong men or women again. So there's kind of like this cycle.
It's a cycle.
Yeah. So when things are too easy, I get comfortable. I'm like, oh, life is pretty good. Like, I don't have to do much.
If everyone's lonely, like in Canberra, loneliness is super high in Canberra, maybe it is tough times at the moment.
Yeah, that's right.
Even though economically Canberra's pretty good, house prices are great, people get paid well.
Yeah. So a lot of people are saying they're lonely. So that's one thing that we're seeing. And everyone's kind of glued to their phone as well, which exacerbates that. But
that's a universal thing of phones.
What
do you think it is specifically to Canberra other than it's really life's comfortable? So you think because it's comfortable, people just struggle to do the uncomfortable thing of going out and meeting strangers, that we're just so used to everything being comfortable that we really struggle doing something uncomfortable? Is that the main thing you think? Canberra phones, that's kind of a universal thing that everyone struggles with that.
I mean, so yes, cultural thing I'd say is definitely one of the main things, but I also don't think there are many actual opportunities to, let's say, okay, I'm comfortable to go and meet strangers as someone in Canberra. How do I do that? There's R4R, there's other sort of social communities, parkrun.
This is running.
Yeah, there's a lot of run clubs, which is awesome. And I love run clubs. I go to them. I don't love them, but let's say someone who's not into running. Okay, there's some walking groups. Let's go past the fitness world. What's there next?
Was there websites like Meetup and?
Yeah, but what is there in Meetup?
I don't know. Is there Canberra events on there?
I don't think so. I've been to some tech events in the past. Some of them have stopped happening. Some of them have sort of happening, but they've changed and it's hard to keep them going. And so a lot of it is maybe, and this is kind of what I'm going to do a shameless plug now.
Go for it.
It's a good segue. For me, it's how do we take the initiative and actually do something that attracts other people instead of always looking for what other people are doing and going to that. So for me, that means like, exactly, there's not enough things happening in Canberra. Maybe some of it is on Meetup or Eventbrite. So one of my ideas was I bought the domain canberra.events and I want to make that the single source of truth for all events happening in Canberra, make it completely free to use. I want to make it better than like Meetup, Eventbrite, Humanitix, all those platforms. So it's actually people want to use it. And so hopefully that will make it a bit easier to host events. Like it doesn't have to be paid events, it could be free events.
And what, so people can just chuck their events on it, free to post.
Yeah.
And then when's that going live?
It's a very good question.
People want to know.
Yeah, well, early next year.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll keep it as vague as that.
Okay. But I mean, obviously there's demand for that, but one final thing I wanted to, and I probably, this is my turn to have a rant.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
About why I think Canberra loneliness is so bad. And you've said, you say it in here about we've got a car culture, especially in Australia, that we all, like we live so spread out. The average Australian's house the average Australian house is 10% bigger than the average American's house.
Yeah.
We don't know. Like I think the Australian dream is playing a big part in loneliness, that we're all trying to move out and have our own Aussie dream quarter acre block, that we're living physically further from each other and further away from work. So we have to like spend a lot of time driving into work and driving back, which then just doesn't leave enough time in the day to go and do stuff socially. And then, I mean, not tinfoil hat, but this is what I believe. It's also like the decline in religion, that people, I think some people are just putting all their purpose and like the meaning of life is in like work and paying their mortgage. It's like their whole life is revolving around and how you provide for your family is super important, don't get me wrong, but I just hope, and a big reason why I want to have this discussion and more of these discussions to help people realize how important community and spending time with friends and family, that's, I feel, a big part of life or meaning of life, whatever you want to call it, like a big part of purpose. And that, which is what I think religion gave everyone, was a weekly gathering of people that they knew and trusted and talked about belief structures. Whether you believe it or not, there was so much good stuff about religion. And I think a big part of the mental health struggle is this decline in purpose, and that people are replacing it with work.
Yeah.
With work and then paying the mortgage. And that, I think, is making people miserable.
Yeah. And like, obviously, again, just banging on about the phones, but it's like so easy to get the dopamine hit.
Well, then that's to like numb the pain that you're miserable because you made this choice to work heaps, have a big house, big mortgage, got to grind hard in a job you don't like.
Yeah.
And you're in pain because you're not getting out and you're spending huge long work hours, and you're not seeing friends, so you're not getting the oxytocin, you're not exercising, you're not getting the endorphins. And it's just, and that's, I feel like, I don't know, as we talked about before, just I've kept my opinions very close to my chest and now I'm letting them out between you and me. Hopefully no one listens to this episode. So I don't get anyone come up to me and go, oh, how dare you bag the Australian dream. And then, mate, of course it's important to buy a house and provide for your family, but just gone too far.
Yeah.
Gone too far. We've not allowed time for those third spaces. It's just work from home, work home, work. Like, even if there was third spaces, people just don't have time because of how they're prioritizing their life.
There's a really good point. You're
still going to be friends with me, even though
I think we're very much in agreement.
If I was traveling, I would say that to anyone that listened. Kept it very quiet.
No, it's actually, so the co-founder of Eucalyptus has some really good videos about
Charlie Gearside.
Yeah, yes. So he's got some really good content.
Yeah, he says the Aussie dream's dead.
Yeah. Obviously, in a very extreme way. I think he's right in many ways. And actually, I vividly remember, this was like 5 years ago, I was at an interview for a public service department, and the scenario they asked us to do is if you had 60 seconds in an elevator with the Prime Minister, what would be the most pressing issue that you would bring up to them? And for me, I just kind of went ham about how people should not focus on housing as an investment and like the whole concept. But then again, I'm going to flip it on its head, and I'm obviously just wired very different. But going back to your point, I think the distance thing about housing and how spread out we are.
Especially in Canberra.
I woke up at 2 a.m. and I drove 3 hours from Merimbula to Canberra, and I was here at 5 a.m., went for a coffee at Kita, and then went for a walk around the lake with a friend at 6 a.m. So
You've had a big day.
yeah, but I love it. It's like, it's only, you're talking about 20 minutes and like, I don't know, it's only an issue if you make it kind of thing. I don't know,
Yeah.
it's a hot take. It's a hot take.
No. And doing that, if you were doing that every day though, driving up from Merimbula every day, like that would be pretty hard.
If that's what I had to do, I would do it.
You're going to do it every day. Well, you drive back now.
Yeah, I'll drive back
You
today.
drive back again. Okay.
Yeah.
Kudos to you.
It's worth it. For me, it's
Alright.
worth it. Like even just the one chance encounter that I'll have, or like the things that I'm going to do, it makes you, that the more difficult something is, the more intentional and the more kind of value you want to get out of it. So for me, I'm like, I'm so energized. I'm like driving 3 hours. I'm really going to make it worth my time. And so,
But then what if it isn't? What if the one time you do it and it's not worth it? Then what do you back? Or you go, oh,
well,
that was
that's never going to happen.
might.
Because for me, the thing that makes it
Well, you
worth,
said that Canberra dinner you went to was a bit of a flop.
yeah, but I learned that. I wouldn't have known it otherwise.
But are you going to go again?
But I'm going to go again.
Okay.
Because life is a casino, and you sort of have to like, this is probably a terrible analogy. I don't condone gambling.
Yeah, no, I don't like gambling here.
No, but you know what I mean? I'm being a bit crazy right now, but you just have to put yourself out there. And as long as you're being yourself and you're having fun, then you'll attract similar people.
Well, and being yourself and having fun, the Volley app has done an unbelievable job at helping bring people together. I hope you enjoy working on it because it is just, I mean, it's saving us hours in the week. Like, how have you enjoyed, what have you learned from that experience, and what do you hope? I mean, we've spoken about, hopefully, you know, we called it Run Buddy initially. Maybe it's called Volley Buddy. We don't really know what to call it.
Yeah.
But it has just been so useful at bringing people together around, around an event, connect and volunteer and give back. Like people love volunteering. We're getting emails every week, people wanting to volunteer, wanting to give back to R4R, and that this app is kind of the structure to help people give back. What are the plans going forward? Like, do you want to help more charities or, and give people a bit of a rundown about what you plan, what you want it to do long term, and maybe some sneak peek into some of the features we're going to build. Or
Yeah. So it's been such a cool journey just building that together and actually seeing it get used. And that's kind of like the reason I quit my job 3 years ago and I was like, let me try something on my own, was I had heard so many horror stories about people in the software space, like getting software services and just not getting anything or being taken advantage of. So for me, it's like building Run Buddy was something so simple and easy that I could just chip away in my free time, and seeing the kind of time that I've dedicated versus the impact that it's had, it's a no-brainer for me. It's like I get joy and it's like fun. I'm learning, like generally a curious person, I'm learning about how I had no idea what it takes to run a community. I had no idea what it takes to organize volunteers. Like this is a world I would have never been exposed to.
And what have been the key learnings to that? Like specific learnings that you've got, shit, I didn't realize that, or is it just the sheer amount of organizing, and what have been some interesting learnings you've had from a year helping build R4R's Volley app?
It takes a lot of effort to organize people and get them together at a specific place, a specific time. And also for me being super technical, it's been super insightful to see from people who have no tech background, like what's simple for me is not simple for someone else. It's actually working together, and you've got a very strong ethos of let's keep it as simple as possible. And
because it's not their work. When it's a work tool, you're kind of getting paid. You got to learn how to use it, but people just want to volunteer. They might only have a minute or two. It's got to, like, it just has to be really easy for them, regardless of their tech level.
Yeah. And obviously we talked a lot about some potential risks and like, is it worth introducing more complexity to address those risks? And in this case, it's probably no. So it's just, it's been like a lot of learnings, both from like people perspective, but also like, actually we're building something for the people, not something because, this is like cool tech.
Well, on the people, I want to, firstly, if any of you got the volleys are watching this, I'm going to just bring something up on it. Any of the volleys watching, please, we'd love feedback. George, tell them. We want to hear.
Please. I've seen some feedback in the group chat already, and I love seeing any like feedback.
Well, we've got a little leaderboard. We just want to actually do a quick shout out for the people. So we've been tracking how many, every time people enroll, it gets tracked. And we just need to do a few quick shout outs to the people, the legends. So we had, it's no surprise, our top, actually I'll work back. I'll read the top sort of 7 or 8. So in 8th, we had Jen Cunnington from 2 Before 10, who's just amazing. She's volunteered 31 times this year. Dee, 33 times. Sunday, 37. Trudy, 39. Big Stewie Coates, 43 volunteers. Trisha, who only joined us earlier this year, like mid this year, she volunteered 63 times.
Jeez.
But in first by a long way, and now the long-time R4R people will know who this is, at 106. So at second place, someone volunteered 63 roles.
Holy cow.
And we only ever let people do 2 in one night.
Yeah, that's
we put
right.
a blocker on it. So that's 59. Well, this person's 106 volunteers, Ellie Tonkin. So pretty round of applause, Ellie.
Oh
we play
God.
the music.
Yeah, I know. Oh my gosh.
106. I mean, we've had total 55 people have volunteered, 729 different roles. We get 13. So the average person has done 13 roles a year, and we've had 22 people volunteer in the last 2 weeks.
Jeez.
All because of what you built, mate. So firstly, thank you to everyone that's volunteered. And last round of applause to Georgie for building that, mate.
Yeah.
Super excited for what's next with it.
Yeah.
What I'm out of questions.
No, you talked about upcoming features and where we want to go.
Plans for the Run Buddy.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. Even just chatting with you, Ben, like there seems to be like a real need for something like a lot of organizations or like not-for-profit communities, volunteer kind of focused communities are struggling to manage volunteers just from anecdotal evidence. But I mean, our plans just talking about how can we make it even easier to actually get some more data and understand how people use it, automate some more stuff like the ongoing reminders, SMS reminders, and really just making it super seamless for people to use. I mean, there's a potentially very cool opportunity that we've talked about in terms of like, is this something that we've had a lot of learnings, a lot of iteration building this platform, potentially package it as a full-on product and try and help more communities manage the volunteers. So, yeah, it's too early to say, and obviously with all the Canberra stuff that I want to do, like getting stretched for time as well. But I don't. It's hard to ignore the fact that there's something there.
And it's two-sided. You're making it easier for the for the organisations to go, look, this is how we need help.
Yeah.
We've got an event coming up. We need help in these ways. But then you're also enabling people who want to give back to causes they feel passionate about. And they've got a bit of spare time and they want an energy and they believe in this cause. They want to help. It's enabling like that transaction, which, and you report that volunteering's declining. Sort of, it's a sad trend nationally or internationally that volunteering is declining, but something we've kind of seen is the opposite. I mean, for us,
Yeah. I was
volunteer
gonna
park
say.
run always, they got a ton of volleys. Like maybe the nature of volunteering is changing into what people want to volunteer and how they want to volunteer is changing. I think and I didn't know how good volunteering is for my mental health when I left rugby. I knew it was nutrition, sleep, exercise. Didn't really know much about the importance of community, but learned that. But I've also, and then looking back how much being a part of the R4R community, but then also giving back to the R4R community, how good that's been for my mental health. And so I guess if we can enable that for more people, why not try?
Yeah. I do love. Yeah, you mentioned the idea of can also use it as a platform for upcoming volunteers to actually find things to volunteer to. Because if you want to volunteer, I guess you can reach out to certain societies directly, but there's no other way at the moment.
No, awesome. And so, Georgie, we'll wrap it up in a minute. For anyone there that doesn't know your other work, Digital Nachos, do you want to give that a plug?
Sure. Yeah. So I touched on it a little bit, but the kind of the driving force that made me start Digital Nachos, one, it's a very funky name, and that's intentional. I think work should be fun, and I don't think we should focus on enterprise corporate, just be fun and have fun and do a very good job while doing it as well. Not just half do things. But I was really kind of frustrated with the fact that a lot of my close friends were, for lack of a better word, taken for a run of their money from different software companies and different kind of suppliers in the software space. So I was like, you know what, if all these other businesses can be sustainable with those practices, why can I be even more sustainable with doing good work that's reasonably priced and help businesses that actually need help? And so that's kind of what I've been doing for the last 3 years. It's just all sorts of different software development. I've worked with gyms. I've worked with HVAC companies that want to build their own SaaS. I've had the pleasure to work with
SaaS, software as a service for the non-techies.
Yes, thank you. And I've also done some very cool pro bono work for different women's organizations. That's been super rewarding to actually see being used. So I'm just super grateful to work with good clients and continue to do that.
Well, and we're super grateful. That's why I wanted to get you on to introduce you to everyone. But also thank you for everything you've done. And I wanted to get you on also, and we were going to get Timbo Fulton, who built our website, on as well, the same, but Timbo could make today. As you two are two of there's many, but two of the best examples of just you see a community trying to do something and you want to help out using your unique skill set. What do you say to people, or if anyone's still listening, what do you say to them that they've got this unique skill that they want to use, they want to help benefit, not just R4R, but other charities? What do you say to them? I know I asked you, but Timbo, nicest guy in the world, it took him a lot of courage because our first website was shit that Brainy built. Brainy knows it's terrible. And Timbo finally irked it. He liked what we were doing, loved what we were trying to do, but he's like, guys, do you mind if I build your new website? And we're like, yeah, go for it.
Please.
Brainy had put his best effort into it, but it's not Brainy's strength.
Yeah.
But do you have any advice to people they've got this unique skill set? Any to advise them to get involved with any, not just R4R, but any charity, and give back and to try and leverage that skill set to make their community or other communities better?
Yeah. So this is going to be super simple and super boring. And I'm not sponsored by Nike at all, but just do it.
All right.
That's literally, if I could give any life advice, it'd be just do it. I think it's so important. When you have a set of skills, the best thing you can do is find some way to help people with those skills. You get exchange for money. Kind of that's how business works. So your two options are, when you have the skills and you don't have clients, is you create some sort of portfolio so people can see what you build. And it's all fake stuff, or you have like a tangible problem
Thing.
in your community that you can solve, and it's actually like the real results. It's like, that's a no-brainer for me. It's like, from whatever perspective you look at it, it is the best thing you can do is reach out to your community, your friends, reach out to anyone. And I think doing free work is completely underrated, because anything you do, I think anything
It'll compound.
it will compound and come back to you. So that's my kind of only advice that I have.
Oh, and the flip side, charity's got to get better at saying where they need help.
Yeah.
Okay, so I said, we had this problem, and I knew you had the skills. Lucky I knew you knew some skills, and I thought, well, told you we were sort of struggling in this way.
Yeah.
And then you stepped up to the plate, so thank you.
No, it's good to see both perspectives, because, yeah, for me, I'm like, oh, yeah, it's like Ben just asked me, but no one else has asked. I've actually posted on LinkedIn a couple of years ago. I was like, who wants a free
and no one asked.
Free website or free software services? No
Crickets.
request. Yeah. So you're right.
Ask for help. I guess, and that's something that not just as organisational of individuals, we're not very good at asking for help. Finally, there's anyone else you'd love to see on the Running for Resilience podcast, who would it be? Who should we get on next?
Ooh.
You got a minute? You have a think? It could be a couple people.
Does it have to be Canberra local?
We've had people said they want to hear Kim Kardashian.
Oh.
It could be anyone. Can be local as well.
Mm.
And if you can make the intro, that would be really helpful.
This is going to be, I'm going to need a minute for this.
Yeah. We can get the leaderboard up again, see how far Ellie's put everyone to shame.
Oh, the timing, how long everyone takes to answer?
Oh, the music. Da-na.
Oh, right.
No, I was just going to get the app up
the app
to fill in time while you think of an answer. What's the 1 minute later?
I wasn't prepared for this question. I'm gonna go with the CEO of Anthropic.
Okay, what's his name? Oh, Dario
Amadi, yeah.
Former OpenAI employee.
Yeah. A lot of maybe controversial request. I don't know.
Why AI? Why?
So I think he does a really good job of not just AI, but explaining. He's actually written kind of like a short essay. I'm going to butcher the name, but it's something like Thinking Machines and something. It's like a 40, 50 page short essay, and it talks about AI and how it can help different kind of aspects of life and industries, but also damage them. So he seems to have a really, this is just as an outsider perspective, you never know interior motives, but kind of the way his brain works seems pretty fascinating. And he's got a kind of medical background as well. So yeah, it's super fascinating.
Can you hook a brother up if you ever meet him and he's in Canberra? Actually, we could Zoom him in if he was keen, or his mate Scam Altman. That's someone I'd like to have.
Not that guy. I would not like to.
No, not Scam. But Georgie Vlachos, mate, bloody legend.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.